Welcome to this week's episode of Analyzing Chazal. This week we'll be analyzing a commentary of Rashi on this week's parsha, Parshas Tzav. Okay, let's go to the pasuk. Perek Vav, pasuk Daled. The pasuk says, "Upashadas bigadav v'lavash bigadim achirim v'otzias adeshen al michutz lamachaneh el makom tahar." And he should remove his clothes and put on other clothes and take the ash outside of the camp to a pure place. The explanation of the pasuk. The Torah is telling us that before the Kohen took the ashes off the altar to bring them outside the camp, he needed to change out of the priestly garments into different, less grandiose priestly garments, specifically for this particular service. Rashi, Ein zu chova el derech eretz, shelo yilach lech ba'otzas hadeshen begadim shehu mishamesh bahem tamid, begadim shabishel bahen kidei ra al yimzog bahen kos lirabo. Lekach lavash begadim acherim bechusim mehem. This is not a requirement, but the Torah is teaching us how a Jew should act. A person should not wear the same clothes to both prepare the food and serve the food to the king. The type of question. The Torah seems to be teaching us something that should be obvious to everyone. Okay, let's stop for a minute. With the type of question we'll be using and the information you already have, can you come up with a question yourself? Okay, here's the question. It seems from Rashi that the Torah is telling us that the Kohanim should change their clothes, not because it is mandatory as a halacha, but rather it is just the proper way to act. However, would the Torah really need to tell this to us? This would seem to be something so clearly understood that the Torah should not need to tell it to us at all. If we think about it logically, if someone works in a cafeteria and then his boss tells them in the evening, "I want you to work a black tie event," it would be obvious to everyone that you would have to wear different clothes for the black tie event. The same thing would obviously apply to our case, that you need different clothes for taking out the ash and sacrificing karbanos. The answer, as we always say, comes from within the question, which was, is it really necessary for the Torah to tell us that the clothes in which you clean the altar should not be the same as those you wear when serving God via bringing the sacrifices, and to apply this lesson to every similar life situation? The answer, of course, is yes. And the reason is that it's very easy for a person to say, what is the difference between taking off the ash and sacrificing the animals? They are both being done as mitzvahs from God. And that being the case, I should dress the same for all of them. However, it is not the case, as when we are relating directly to God, like when we daven, we need to be cognizant of that fact and dress differently, as dress impacts the way we act as well. The practical application. In our daily lives, it is very easy to forget that at times we are actually standing in front of God, like when we are davening, learning, etc., even more so than when we are living our lives and doing other mitzvos. Even though it is, of course, extraordinarily important to always view God as with us, no matter what we are doing, it is even more important when we are actually speaking to God to feel that He is in front of us. We need to have this feeling when we are davening, making brachas and learning Torah, and we need to do something in order to enhance that feeling, whether it be with a certain type of dress or some other action. Have a wonderful Shabbos and a Chag Kosher v'Sameach, and we'll see you next time for Parsha Shmini after Pesach.